So I'm here with Becky Suzik, and we're talking about Weavr. And we want you to become more aware of the basics about Weavr. So Weavr works on a phone as well as a desktop. This is the desktop version I'm looking at, and it's an odd way to spell Weavr, W-E-A-V-R, no E at the end, .app. But I'm just going to give you a high-level overview. On the phone, this top bar is on the bottom, but here on your desktop, you have a home, you could do a search. We'll talk more about this. Is the Weavr logo, and it does different things at different times. This lets you uh, create these prompts, connect folks. This is your message box. You can see I got messages, and this is where your profile is going to be. And if I scroll down on this overview homepage, this is the homepage. You can search for anything here. But what we've done is we've pinned a few messages here. That's what these are. These are messages. And here we're showing just a few of all the interests. And if I click this, you can see all of them. This is showing 50 of, it says on the bottom, 121 different interests that people have put down in their profiles. And what happens is you can click on any of these and see everyone else who shares those interests. Then here is the next section after the interests is projects. And we're going to talk more about the different projects. I could click to see all, and it's going to bring me a list. And in fact, this is the search. It lets you search for either people or projects. I could click here and see all these projects. And we're going to go back to the home, clicking on that. And then down below what you've seen in terms of the pinned messages, the interests that people have, the projects, then it just shows pictures of people. And this is random. The size doesn't really mean anything. But up there is Becky. So if I click on Becky, this has gone to one of the profiles. Now you have your profile too, but every profile has the basics, and it has a photo. There's a bio, a place for you to put in a little biography. Also then a place for you to identify, to show more fields where you could put in there a website, but you can also identify what you're offering and what your requests are. We could talk more about that. Here are the interests that Becky has chosen. Here are the projects that Becky's involved with. And what's interesting, it starts to show who she's connected to in the network. Who is she actively collaborating with? It's called different strength in terms of the ties between people. Who is she communicating with regularly? And who does she know of? Who's she aware of? And there are even other kinds of relationships. Now, when you get to anyone's profile, what you can do is a couple of interesting things. I'm just scrolling up here. Let me move all the way over to get it faster. Becky knows a lot of people. Very important person. When you click on the Weavr logo here, I could send her a message. I could say, you know what, let me change my relationship to her. Like I just talked about strengths. Okay, we're not actively collaborating now, or we are. I just changed it. I'm going to change it again because we are actively collaborating, or we just know of each other. And you'll see at some moment here why this is useful information to know the strengths of these different ties and relationships. But I can also suggest a connection. Somebody who Becky ought to know. So if I click on that, it shows Becky, says, who else? Well, you know, she should be in touch with Bob Stilger. I picked Bob's name because he was there, and I could write a little message to both of them. And this is what they call, these connections are what are called prompts. I'm not going to send that one, but that's what's possible when you go into this logo here, that little icon on the top. The system actually, once you put in some interest, will prompt you on people it thinks you ought to get to know. You say, well, why should I get to know Antoinette? It says, oh, you've got justice, women and girls, media, and spirituality in common. I could click, or I could say, you know what, this is interesting. Let me view more about Antoinette. Let me send her a message, or let me add her as a relationship. Or the system will actually coach you and guide you, remind me later, or tell, no, I've already done this. I'm already connected to her, which I am. So let's go through here. Oh, Dave Feldman, Adam. These are the different folks, and the system's looking to see who I ought to be connected to if I'm not. But also this button over here lets you create one of these prompts. And that's part of the game here is we want to connect people up based upon their common interests so they can work collaboratively together. So, and the working collaboratively together, in particular, if I go to the home, on these different projects. So we'll show you an example here where you're searching for people or projects. And this one that I wanted to bring up is the project we're involved with on co-producing World Unity Week. And what you have on a project is you can be one of the project leads. You can have a number of them. And then everyone else could be collaborators working on that project. And then you can add updates over time to those projects. And you do that, you can, if you're not already a part of that project, I can click here, it would say join project. In my case, since I'm already there, I would leave the project. Or if you're someone who's created the project, you can edit the project. When you edit the project, this is where you can change some of this basic information, but then it walks you through a timeline. Okay, you're going to update the leads. Do I need to add anybody there? Am I updating the collaborators? So if I looked in here, I'd see their name. I could see or go through the whole list of everyone in the network and click on them and add them. Let's make Stuart now one of the collaborators on this project. So when I go to next, it's going to update the project. Stuart will now be notified that he's been added to this project.
Hey,
All
John,
right.
we should
I'm
let
going to
everybody
pause here
know.
to,
We should
yeah.
let everybody know that for this particular project, you can check that project for the updates that we've been adding. For example, we announce when we have the assemblies or when we have the weekly meetings. We announce when the presentations will be open for submissions and that kind of thing. So keep watch on this particular one as you're interested in World Unity Week, and you can get notified on different things, as well as we'll be emailing you, but this is going to be a really good way to stay connected through Weavr to the project that's emerging this World Unity Week. And also, if you're not on Weavr, we're going to put wherever you find this video a link to the weavr.app/join/SINE members and network link, which you can click to actually join the Weavr network. And that way you can get your own account associated with the SINE members and network.
Exactly, exactly. I want to show people here, this is what's called the hamburger. This little those lines there.
I always say though, it's a vegan, it's the vegan gluten-free hamburger.
It's a vegan hamburger. Thank you. That's right. It's a Beyond Burger. It's a Beyond. But over here, there's some really interesting things. This is where you can edit your profile, edit your relationships. But over here is where you can invite. And we're encouraging you to invite other folks to join that are engaging around World Unity Week, engaging in Weavr, this network we're building. You can just put in their email, a full name and short name, that'll do it. Or if you click here, it's just copied the link, this link into your clipboard. You could paste it anywhere into a text message or however you communicate with folks. So it's easy for you to invite others in. And at any time, just so you know, you can go up here and say, hey, I want to edit my profile. So if you go to that little pencil, you can edit your profile, edit your relationships, your preferences in terms of how notifications come to you, and you're able to do everything needed to be able to make sure you have a full profile here. And that was also the case, if I look again on that hamburger, if you noticed, here I could edit profile, here I could edit relationships. Now what's really cool is you can explore everyone who's shared interests, or you could actually do an analysis of more depth on these projects and the people who's connected. So I'm just going to show you this to give you a taste. Also, there's a help. And if you ever need, they have actually a guided tour, which some of you may have seen when you first signed up. And that's available for you to go back to. I'll show you in a second. But all these little dots you can barely see, these are all the people in the network. And in addition to the people, they're like, here's Anne Marie. If I click on Anne Marie, it shows me her profile, a little bit of it, her different interests. I could view her whole profile here. But you see these blue grayed in? These are projects. So what's nice about the way Weavr works is that if I click on Janice here, which is Janice Hall, right? And then if I just mouse over Janice, it's going to gray out and only show the people that she's connected to. Oh, I see she's connected to Brother Phil. That's over here. And if I click here, I can see, oh, Brother Phil's connected to not only a whole bunch of other people, but also these projects. So this whole one on the Eagle and the reunion of the Eagle and the Condor, I could click here and then I could say, all right, I got it. I want to be a part of this project. And from that analysis, I can come to the project. I could, if I wasn't already a member, I could join it, or I could get the latest updates on it, and I can get myself engaged. And that's what this is really all about. We're looking to find a simple way to weave our strategies together. And it starts by everybody having a presence and being able to then put up projects. And we're going to encourage you to connect up with other people. That's the whole game. Create these prompts, not only just for who you to connect with, but who you think other people should be connected to.
We're going to encourage our room stewards to create a project around their convergence room space title. So for example, I know Jim Greywolf Petruzzi is working with other stewards, co-stewards for the Sacred Lands, Sacred Sites Convergence Room that will be during World Unity Week. There are many people around the world who are co-stewarding that. So he can create a project with that name for World Unity Week 2021, Sacred Lands, Sacred Sites Convergence Room. And that way there'll be a project listed. So if I'm interested in presenting there, I can look and learn more about that particular convergence room. Or if I'm interested in helping support the emergence of the room as a co-steward, I can express interest there as well. So we're really encouraging everyone. This is such a robust tool, and it's becoming even more. John is very connected with the people who are creating Weavr, and we're very active users on this platform, and we've been able to suggest different things, and they've incorporated our wishes. So it's a wonderful collaborative tool. It's a great way to have all of your things to do with World Unity Week here, and you can organize it. And we realize that, you know, it's another tool, but it is specific to our relationships and our growing network of networks, and so many of us here. So it's very powerful. I think we have nearly 300 members in this particular, in Weavr.
I was just showing folks while you were talking, Becky, the obvious things that they could do. You can explore. And the thing is, when you're learning something, give yourself permission to be a beginner. And so you can go in here. There's the help. I showed you just how you can get the tour. There's documentation these guys have set up. So if you do have questions, you can see who the admins are there as well. And you can do this kind of exploration and network analysis. There's plenty to here for you to chew into, and use this time together to start to think about how do we stay connected and how do we weave strategies together. So I think that's good. I think we've given people a good tour.
Hey,
I
John,
hope
when
that they
people
are
sign up for it, do they instantly get in, or they get an email, right, that goes to their...
right.
Okay, so I
That's
wanted
right.
to remind everybody to check your spam promotions folders as well, because sometimes I've noticed that my Weavr messages go in, they don't go in my direct inbox. So once you've joined, check your folders to make sure you've got the invitation. Then you can click that to actually activate your account, and then begin filling your profile information, your interests, you upload your profile picture, and those type of things.
Exactly. With a photo, a bio, your interests, a little bit of contact info, and then edit your relationships and start to take a look at who's here and see who you're connected to, and then who you might connect other people to. So we're going to use Weavr to weave our way to a better world. And I'm confident that this is going to make a huge difference, and I'm looking forward to connecting with you there.